Welcome back to SnowRunner, guys, and here we are on the main menu of the public test server. Now, in one of my recent streams, I dove into this update in a little bit more detail where we explored the new maps and the new regions. However, I wanted to give you guys a little bit of an overview of what you can expect to see in the next update to the main game as it is currently being tested here on the PTS. Also, full disclosure, there are 2 more Tatra trucks coming, but those 2 haven't really been fully fleshed out yet, so we're not going to be focusing on those trucks in this video. They are coming. There are 2 new Tatra trucks coming, but once again, the features and the environment is going to be the focus of this video, and then we'll be doing our own dedicated videos on those trucks once they reach a little bit closer to release. So, let's go ahead and dive into the features of this update. Now, one of the big focuses of this update is obviously crossplay features as well as the new region, the new area. Now, if I go into the settings, one of the first things you'll see is in game, you have this option right here called crossplay mode, and it says allows to play with users from other platforms. Now, we saw in their main update that they did about this, where they talked about crossplay, that they were doing basically some development in the back end to make the Epic version compatible with the Steam version in multiplayer. However, the way they've structured this makes it seem like there's a lot more to come, and hopefully PC to console compatibility in multiplayer in the future. Now, if we turn that on, obviously it'll enable a couple of things in the co-op section of the game, but if we go to the mod browser, there's a little bit of an issue where things will infinitely load right now unless you subscribe to a mod, which is very, very odd. But you'll see right there how it says this mod is console compatible. Now, that is a feature that they've also implemented in this update to the PTS, and you can see basically everything right there will have a game controller and a check mark, and it'll also have a console compatibility basically logo design above the actual mod picture on the right over there. So basically what you can do is you can actually go into sort and filter, go over to filter, and you can filter by console compatible only or not console compatible only. Now, the only reason that I feel that they would implement something like this is if they were planning on having PC to console crossplay actually work down the road in the future, which would be absolutely amazing, because think about it, you would be able to sort by console compatible mods only, so even if you were playing on PC and your friend was playing on console, you guys would still be able to sync up because you would have access to the same mods. Now, that right there is an absolutely incredible development, absolutely wild, and I'm just blown away at the fact that they're even attempting to do that. So now I'm going to go ahead and disable that, because if I subscribe to basically something very simple and basic right now, what you'll see happen is you'll see that mod download, and then I'll just unsub it, and then now all of a sudden the infinite load is gone for all of these other mods. Now, currently on the PTS, it also turns all of your mods off on you for some reason every time you reload it. It's a little bit of an odd thing. But what we're going to do is we're going to go into the new map area, the new region, which is called the Dawn region, but it's based around a Tatra factory, which makes sense because obviously there are 2 new Tatra trucks on the way, so this next region being based around Tatras is actually really interesting and really cool. So let's load up one of my favorite all-round trucks. We'll go through and just pick it up real quick, if it'll actually, let me go the right direction. We got the Classic Crew right there. We got the Denside Classic right there. We'll turn those on, and of course, we got the F750 upgraded. We'll turn that on as well. And now we're going to go ahead and load straight into the Dawn region. Now, Dawn Factory Grounds is the region in question, and it says we have a truck mod missing, but we're not really going to worry about that all that much. That's not really something that that we have to concern ourselves with, because currently in the PTS, if you recover to the garage in a modded truck, when you go back in, that modded truck will basically be gone anyway. It's a little bit of an odd quirk of the PTS right now, but let's go into our truck store. And as you can see, we have the F750 Power Stroke tweak right there. And then there's also, if we go back over here, well, I just realized those are region locks to the US, so we're not going to really worry about those at the moment. But let's go ahead and buy ourselves an F750 Power Stroke. We'll just do a very, very mild build on it. And actually, as you can see, our Tatra T813 is right here in this little village, but the last time I was playing on this map, I was also using another modded truck, which it promptly deleted, it seems. So, once again, that is a little bit of a quirk of the PTS right now, but we're going to go ahead and throw some thick old boy tires on this thing, and once we have those on, we're going to leave the garage. Now, let's grab something that's just a little bit, yeah, there we go. Well, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, 50-inch MSH4. That'll do just fine. High power offline, tall front facing snorkel, engageable all-wheel drive, and a long flatbed with a nice red paint job and beans on the dash. Very simple build. Very, very, very simple. Now, this is the new region in question. And this truck seems to be sitting on the bottom of its suspension travel, and I'm very curious as to why. Oh, because stock suspension. Oh, God. Yeah, no, it's not what I wanted. Nope. Custom active. I'll take that instead. Yep. And now we can go ahead and raise it up. All right. Perfect. Beautiful. Much better. Now, one of the most interesting things about this region to me is the fact that obviously you'll notice some assets from different areas in the game, some from, I believe, Michigan and some from kind of like the Wisconsin region area. Now, I may or may not be fully correct on there being assets from Michigan and Wisconsin, or maybe just Michigan, but there's kind of a little bit of a resemblance there, I feel, to Michigan in this new region. Now, we don't know at this present moment in time when this is actually releasing, but hopefully we get a little bit more information about that later on down the road in the near future. Now, I have actually completed some of these tasks with my buddy Diesel Addict in multiplayer, so that's why we have a bridge right here, and we have basically no task option right up here because we already completed it. But I do really like the set pieces on display on this first map, and there's also the second map as well, which is a really interesting change of pace from what this one is. Now, you can see it right up here, which is the gateway to the Antonovsky Nature Reserve, and the drive to get there is actually pretty short. It's not that long at all. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and drive down there, and while we drive down there, we're going to talk about some of the other features and elements of this upcoming update. Now, as we start our drive out to the portal to the second map in this region, I'm also going to talk about one of my personal favorite features to come in this update, or at least in the current PTS phase for basically Season 5. Now, we're going to go ahead and go into settings, and if you go over to HUD and you turn the HUD off, this is where things get very, very interesting. Now, this is how you enable immersive mode. Now, what is immersive mode? Well, right now your HUD seems completely off, right? If I, say for example, hit the handbrake button, you'll see the handbrake option pop up and then fade away. Same with the clutch option. You'll see the gearbox area pop up and then fade away. So now I'm going to go to the map, and I'm going to actually skip to the next day during the afternoon, and I'm going to take the handbrake off, and I'm going to begin driving. Now, obviously, this game mode is only, well, rather, game option is only going to work for you if you have the control scheme pretty much memorized, but if you do, it can be a very, very, very interesting way to look at the game in a whole new light, and also, for those of you that like to play in interior mode, you'll basically not have all of those elements of the HUD kind of hanging out and obstructing your view of the frankly gorgeous interior of this F-750, but when you actually need to do something like, for example, change gear, you can still push in the left bumper and use the right stick to move your gear lever around. So as we drive on, you'll see that once again, it disappears and actually goes away. So come on, Ninja Winch, thank you. Ninja Winch from in the cab, I will take it. Now, as far as the difficulty level of these new maps goes, I like it. It's not necessarily super over the top from what I've seen so far. There are some elements that you can tell have yet to be added because, of course, this is in the public test server right now, and so it's obviously not its full-fledged version. But this little trail right here is a good way to get around a really swampy region with a really broken up road, or swampy area with a broken up road that you can see up here on the right. If you're going to take this road up here on the right, you better have a really heavily equipped vehicle because it's gnarly, it's nasty, and it will beat you if you don't bring something capable enough. Now let's make our way right over the train tracks real quick. Just bounce, literally bounce right over them. Nothing to see there. And so let's make our way down into the area where we can teleport. So obviously the teleport button does not pop up, but if you go ahead and hit it, you will still teleport. That is the beauty of immersive mode, because it basically allows you to have the HUD off for the most part and still be able to interact with all the different elements of the game that you want to interact with. Like, for example, the ability to quick winch was not an option before when you would turn the HUD off, but now because of the immersive mode option, you can actually use your winch even when you have the HUD off. You can use the quick winch option like so, because it basically, the game behaves like the HUD is on, but once again, it's actually not. It's only half on. It fades in and out. So if I, say for example, turn the all-wheel drive on or have the diff lock always on, but even if I tap the diff lock, you'll see that it flashes the diff lock icon and then it goes back off again. Are these, like, destructible? Yes. Oh, God, they are jumping around, flinging all over the place. This windmill is beautiful, though. Now, that's one of the things that I have been noticing and really have been liking about this new region and these new maps. They're absolutely gorgeous, and the immersive mode really does, at least for me, make me want to have the HUD off most of the time, and just drive around and appreciate the beauty of these gorgeous environments. I really do love the way these environments really pop on screen, and they really do a great job of making you feel like you're there. And if you're a player that is really into the element of immersion, you're definitely going to A, love immersive mode, and B, absolutely adore the way these new maps look. I really, really enjoy them, and also, I think we're all really happy to be taking a break from snow. The previous region in Phase 4 really did put us all through the ringer in terms of snow, so with that being said, I'm really, really glad to see a brand new region that is not covered in deep, deep snow. So I think this is going to provide a lot of interesting elements for hauling, but I also think it's going to provide a lot of interesting elements for people that like trail riding, exploration, scout-based gameplay. We have a bridge task right here, which once again, because we have the HUD in immersive mode, the task option pops up, but if you click X when you get there, it brings up the task menu, and then you can of course look at the details, look at what you'll need to do, and of course you have the wooden planks up there that you can bring down here to the bridge. Then you have long logs that you have access to up there, which we obviously haven't been up there yet, but we will gain access to those as we explore this region in more depth and in more detail. Now, if you guys are excited about Phase 5, and of course excited about this brand new region, let me know all of your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. If you're new around here and you want to stay as up to date as possible on everything SnowRunner, once again, make sure you click that subscribe button and turn those notifications on, and I will see you guys next time. Talk to y'all later.